Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Recha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Job, the 22nd chapter. Then Eliphaz the Temanite answered and said, Can a man be profitable unto God? As he that is wise may be profitable unto himself. So do you think man is of any benefit? Like the Lord needs us, right? As it says, as he that is wise may be profitable unto himself. So just like when you gain wisdom, that's profitable unto you, right? That makes you more valuable to yourself. And he's saying here, with how we are, as if the Lord needs us for anything, can a man be profitable unto God? Is it any pleasure to the Almighty that thou art righteous? Or is it gain to him that thou makest thy ways perfect? You're all being righteous, being perfect. That's for you, right? It's not like the Lord is like, oh, I need this person to do it. I'm dependent upon it, right? Will he reprove thee for fear of thee? Will he enter with thee into judgment? So as it says, NLT, it says here, is it because you're so pious that he accuses you and brings judgment against you? NIV, is it for your piety that he rebukes you and brings charges against you? So do you think that here it is, you're just so perfect, right? And because of that, because of your fear and your righteous ways, that's why he's rebuking you or bringing judgment on you? Is not thy wickedness great and thine iniquities infinite? For thou hast taken a pledge from thy brother for naught, and stripped the naked of their clothing. Eliphaz's case here is, you think God is judging you for being perfect? No, more than likely you are guilty of such and such, and that's what he's listing here. Okay, you've probably, as it says, taken a pledge of thy brother for naught, and stripped the naked of their clothing. And there's the scriptures tell you that, you shouldn't take someone's cloak as a pledge, because that's all they may have, right, to sleep in, right? If they don't have that, they're basically out there, exposed against the elements. So it was looked at as a like a wicked thing, right? Like an unrighteous thing to do. So it says here, NIV, you demanded security from your relatives for no reason. You stripped people of their clothing, leaving them naked, right? Meaning like you had the power, right? Because you were, a wealthy man, right? And you basically, this is like saying like you're guilty of some form of abuse of your power, right? Taking advantage of others because you can. Thou hast not given water to the weary to drink, and thou hast withholden bread from the hungry. Now, it's not like he's saying like I'm presenting evidence that you have done this, that, and the third. He's just listing like unrighteous deeds and saying you're probably guilty of some of these, which is why you're getting punished. You're not getting this punishment because you're so righteous or pious. It says here, thou hast not given water to the weary to drink, and thou hast withholden bread from the hungry. But as for the mighty man, he had the earth, and the honorable man dwelt in it. So it says here, you probably think, NLT, you probably think the land belongs to the powerful, and only the privileged have a right to it. NIV, though you were a powerful man owning land, an honored man living on it. Thou hast sent widows away empty, and the arms of the fatherless have been broken. And that arms, is also symbolic of their power. And so here he's saying like you haven't helped out the widows, right? You've shattered the security or the power of the fatherless, making their case worse than it already was. Therefore, snares are round about thee, and sudden fear troubleth thee. This is why you're going through the plagues you're going through. Or darkness that thou canst not see, and abundance of waters cover thee, right? So that's why you feel like you're in darkness. You feel like you're overwhelmed, right? As it says, like you're drowning in these waters or this flood of calamities. Is not God in the height of heaven? And behold, the height of the stars, how high they are. So look how high above God is from you. And thou sayest, how doth God know? Can he judge through the dark cloud? So you speaking like, how, let me read that here. But it's like, how would God know, X, Y, and Z, right? Can he judge, well, as it says in the NKJV, and you say, what does God know, right? Can he judge through the deep darkness? NLT, but you replied, that's why God can't see what I'm doing. How can he judge through the thick darkness? This is what Eliphaz is saying, right, concerning Job. Thick clouds are a covering to him that he seeth not, and he walketh in the circuit of heaven. So he's all the way up there. Like this Eliphaz is saying, like, this is your speaking to Job, that this is your response, right? This is what you're basically thinking, right? When you respond that way, this is how you're sounding. You're sounding like saying, oh, God can't, he's all the way up there, right? As it says, thick clouds are covering him, and he seeth not. He can't see through those thick clouds over there. He walketh in the circuit of heaven. He's all the way up there. He can't see the things that are going on down here. Hast thou marked the old way which wicked men have trodden, which were cut down out of time, whose foundation was overflown with a flood? It says, will you continue on the old paths, NLT, where evil people have walked? NKJV, who were cut down before their time, whose foundations were swept away by a flood? Which that actually ended up happening, right? That's the old world. The old world was destroyed by a flood. It says, which said unto God, depart from us, right? And this doesn't have to mean like literally them looking up in the heavens and saying, depart from us, but by their actions and by their deeds, right? They were basically forsaking the Lord, saying like, we don't want to partake of your ways of righteousness, right? And what can the Almighty do for them? So he's saying here, those that were judged before, this was their mindset, right? To depart from God, right? Well, what benefit can they get from serving him? Yet he filled their houses with good things, but the counsel of the wicked is far from me. So as it says here, NLT, yet he was the one who, so this is how they responded to him, and yet he was the one who filled their homes with good things. So I will have nothing to do with that kind of thinking. So if that's how you sounding, well, I'm not here for that. Right? I will not be joined on to that. The righteous see it and are glad, and the and the innocent laugh them to scorn, which is the destruction of the wicked. Whereas our substance is not cut down, but the remnant of them the fire consumeth. NLT, they will say, see how our enemies have been destroyed. The last of them have been consumed in the fire. Acquaint now thyself with him and be at peace. So, make peace with God, right? Whatever you may have wronged, turn back, repent, seek his favor, and be at peace. Thereby good shall come unto thee, right? So that way you can have blessings, you can have good. Receive, I pray thee, the law from his mouth, and lay up his words in thine heart, right? So follow his ways, follow his instructions, keep his commandments in your heart, in your mind, and do it. If thou return to the Almighty, thou shalt be built up. Thou shalt put away iniquity far from thy tabernacles, right? So whatever it is you may have done, that can be cast behind you, right? You still have a chance. You can be brought back up to the position you were in before. Just turn back to the Lord. But saying this is kind of like saying, well, if the person hasn't, as in Job's perspective, if I haven't done anything wrong, you're saying turn back as though I've done something wrong and I'm not trying to admit it. Verse 24, then shalt thou lay up gold as dust, and the gold of Ophir as the stones of the brook, meaning you're going to have those riches back in abundance. Because remember, he lost all that, right? He lost his cattle, he lost his servants, he lost his children, he lost all of those. Yea, the Almighty shall be thy defense, and thou shalt have plenty of silver. For then shalt thou have thy delight in the Almighty, and shalt lift up thy face unto God. See, then you're gonna have the good things, the blessings from God, right? The things that you delight in, and you'd be able to lift up your head without fear onto the face of God. Thou shalt make thy prayer unto him, and he shall hear thee, and thou shalt pay thy vows. Thou shalt also decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee. Right? So you can give the word, and the Lord will establish it. And the light shall shine upon thy ways. When men are cast down, then thou shalt say, there is lifting up, and he shall save the humble person. So when somebody is say in a bad position, right, and you give the word, you bless them basically, right? NLT. If people are in trouble and you say help them, God will save them. He shall deliver the island of the innocent, and it is delivered by the pureness of thine hands. See, the Lord he'll basically adhere, right? He'll hearken unto you in whatever it is you request, right? Even if it's for the benefit of others. But you need to turn back to God and gain that favor again. And this is the case that Eliphaz is basically, putting before Job. And that brings us to the end of the book of Job, the 22nd chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.